From icy roads that crack beneath your wheels to mountain passes with no guardrails, the world is filled with roads that test even the most skilled drivers. Some vanish underwater, others carve through dense jungles, and a few exist in the middle of nowhere with no help for miles. So fasten your seatbelt and hold on tight as we take a wild ride down the 15 most dangerous roads that actually exist. Luxor Al Hurghada Road, Egypt. This road looks like an easy ride, but don't be fooled. It runs through the desert, where reckless drivers speed through the night, and bandits lurk in the shadows. Many drivers turn off their headlights to avoid trouble, but that only increases the risk of deadly collisions. Potholes, sandstorms, and poor road markings make things even worse. If something goes wrong, help could take hours to arrive. This isn't just a road, it's a gamble with your life. If the desert wasn't bad enough, wait until you see Italy's crumbling mountain road. Sichuan-Tibet Highway, China. This high-altitude road is a true test of endurance. Running through the Himalayas, it's known for landslides, avalanches, and extreme weather. Many sections are narrow and carved into cliffs, making every turn nerve-wracking. The lack of oxygen at high altitudes makes driving even more exhausting. Despite the dangers, this road is essential for connecting remote Tibetan villages to the rest of China. Only the bravest or most desperate drivers attempt this route. If this icy challenge wasn't enough, let's take a look at a road where flooding is just another obstacle. Pan American Highway, Darien Gap. The Pan American Highway is the longest road in the world, but there's one part that's practically impassable: the Darien Gap. This stretch between Panama and Colombia is a dense jungle with no proper roads. Instead, it's filled with swamps, wild animals, and smugglers. Travelers attempting to cross must either brave deep mud and unstable paths or detour by boat. Nature has reclaimed this section, making it one of the most treacherous gaps on any highway. Now, let's move on from jungle nightmares to a road where even the most skilled drivers struggle to stay in control. BR 319, Brazil. This abandoned highway cuts through the Amazon rainforest, and driving it is a test of patience and survival. Potholes, mud, and collapsed bridges turn the road into an unpredictable mess. During the rainy season, it becomes nearly impossible to navigate as entire sections disappear underwater. With no services for miles and wild animals lurking nearby, breaking down here isn't just inconvenient, it's dangerous. Now, let's move from the rainforest to one of the world's most isolated and unpredictable highways. Dalton Highway, Alaska, USA. This 414-mile-long highway is one of the most remote roads in the world. Running through the frozen wilderness, it's covered in ice and snow for most of the year. Temperatures can drop below minus 60 degrees Fahrenheit, making survival difficult if you break down. With almost no towns, fuel stations, or emergency services, a mistake here could be fatal. Truckers who drive this route are some of the toughest on Earth. If the freezing cold doesn't scare you, maybe an ancient road with a dark past will. Old Yungas Road, Bolivia. Also known as Death Road, this terrifying mountain pass has claimed countless lives. Carved into the cliffs, it's only wide enough for one vehicle at a time, with sheer drops on one side and crumbling rock on the other. Heavy rain makes the path slippery, while fog reduces visibility to nearly zero. Although a safer bypass has been built, thrill seekers still visit for the adrenaline rush. If you thought one-lane mountain roads were bad, imagine a road that disappears twice a day. Passage du Gois, France. This road connecting mainland France to Noirmoutier Island is only visible for a few hours each day. Twice a day, the tide rises and completely submerges the road under several feet of water. If you miscalculate the timing, your car could get swept away. Despite warning signs, tourists often get trapped mid-crossing. It's a unique but risky way to reach the island. Speaking of disappearing roads, our next one is built on ice. Literally. James Dalton, Ice Road, Canada. This winter road is built on frozen lakes and rivers, making it one of the most unpredictable routes in the world. Temperatures can drop so low that vehicles freeze solid. Ice thickness is constantly monitored, but cracks and sudden melting pose a serious danger. If your truck breaks through the ice, there's little chance of escape. Despite the risks, this road is crucial for delivering supplies to remote Arctic communities. As if ice-covered roads and hairpin turns weren't enough, our next destination takes danger to an entirely new level, where nature itself seems determined to challenge every traveler who dares to pass. Lyssevagen Road, Norway. A masterpiece of engineering, Lyssevagen Road features 27 tight hairpin turns winding down through the breathtaking Norwegian fjords. However, this beauty comes with extreme danger. The road's steep incline makes braking difficult, and sudden fog can reduce visibility to near zero. Snow and ice remain on parts of the road well into the summer, making the surface slippery and unpredictable. It's open only from May to October, but even in peak season, weather conditions change rapidly. Tourists unfamiliar with the road often misjudge turns, leading to accidents. With no guardrails on some sections, a slight miscalculation could send a car plummeting into the valley below. From icy fjords to a road carved into towering rock, the next one is not for the faint-hearted. Knoll Heritage Trail, Canada. This remote, rugged trail was originally built as a wartime supply route and has since been abandoned, making it one of the toughest routes in North America. The road's deep mud, unmarked trails, and unpredictable river crossings require off-road vehicles equipped with survival gear. Many adventurers attempting this path have faced broken-down vehicles, exposure to extreme weather, and complete isolation. Without gas stations or emergency services, a mistake here could turn into a life-threatening situation. Sudden blizzards can trap vehicles for days, and wild animals like grizzly bears roam the area. Travelers must carry extra fuel, food, and satellite phones in case of emergency. Now let's head to a road where the wind itself can push cars off the path. Patagonia's Ruta 40, Argentina. One of the longest and most remote roads in the world, Ruta 40 stretches over 3,000 miles through Argentina, cutting through some of the most isolated terrain on Earth. The biggest threat here isn't just the rough surface, but the extreme wind gusts that can blow cars off the road. The terrain varies from barren deserts to icy mountain passes, with temperatures swinging wildly in a single day. Potholes, gravel, and sand make the road highly unstable. Gas stations and services are few and far between, so travelers must plan their journey carefully. Despite its dangers, Ruta 40 is famous among motorcyclists and thrill-seekers looking for an ultimate driving challenge. From high winds to suffocating heat, our next road will test endurance like no other. Jalalabad Kunar Road, Afghanistan. This dangerous mountain pass not only features steep cliffs and unpaved stretches, but also faces the threat of insurgent attacks, making it one of the riskiest roads in the world. Used mainly by locals and military personnel, the road has limited security and no protection against sudden rock slides. Reckless drivers frequently speed around blind corners, increasing the chances of head-on collisions. Overloaded trucks and poorly maintained vehicles struggle to make the climb, often breaking down and blocking traffic. Many travelers opt for alternative routes due to the constant security risks. The unstable political situation only adds to the dangers of navigating this route. If the dangers of conflict aren't enough, imagine a road that disappears underwater every day. The Atlantic Coastal Road, Faroe Islands. A stunning yet perilous road, this coastal path in the Faroe Islands is battered by relentless Atlantic storms. Waves crash over the roadway, drenching vehicles and reducing visibility to near zero. With no alternative routes, travelers must brave the extreme elements to reach their destinations. During winter, icy conditions make it even riskier, forcing drivers to battle both the sea and the cold. If battling ocean waves isn't challenging enough, how about a road barely wide enough for a single vehicle? Denali Highway, Alaska, USA. A remote gravel highway stretching across the Alaskan wilderness, this road is completely isolated, with no cell service or roadside assistance for miles. Harsh winters leave the road covered in ice and snow for much of the year. Grizzly bears and moose frequently cross the path, adding unexpected dangers. Scary, right? The road's rough, uneven surface makes long-distance driving exhausting, testing both vehicles and endurance. If you think cold roads are bad, let's take a trip to a place where the heat is just as deadly. The Road of Death, Madagascar. Running through dense jungle, this unpaved road is notorious for its deep potholes, eroded edges, and unpredictable flooding. Heavy rains wash away entire sections, leaving stranded vehicles and travelers in remote areas. Landslides and collapsing bridges are common hazards, making every journey a high-stakes adventure. With minimal infrastructure and few rescue options, those who dare to take this route must be prepared for the worst. Whether it's freezing cold, blistering heat, or sheer isolation, these roads push human endurance to the limit. Some are essential lifelines, while others are adrenaline-fueled nightmares. Would you dare to take on any of these treacherous routes? Let us know in the comments. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one.